Okay, everybody, back here in the shop, and I am swapping out the teeth on the TMC Kinsella. I'm not going to make a video of doing this whole swap out. That just seems kind of boring, but I am just going to do a real quick addendum to one of my videos, and I'll add this in there, show you guys how these teeth get swapped out. I've already pulled one off, but so here's new teeth, new tooth. This mulcher has 44 teeth on it. Typically, when they come from the factory, they come with 42 of these knife teeth, typically. If you get the knife tooth option, 42 of these, and then they'll have a carbide, one carbide hammer on each end. So it's called a 42 and 2. Mine just came with 44 knives, which is fine. So here's an old tooth right here that's pretty worn out, and you can see the difference. Let me I'll set the GoPro down. So you can definitely see the difference there in the wear. So yeah, we got a pretty good bit. Oh, there we go. We got a pretty good bit of life out of these teeth. I mean, you can just, I'll put that one up next to there. You can see the difference even more. So, so what this has, this mulcher is a little unique with the holders, and I'll show you how. Let me see if I can take one. I had one that was already loose. There we go. All right, so let me snatch this off really quick and show you how this works. Okay, so as you can see, this tooth does not want to come off, or this bolt with the tooth on it does not want to come down because it's hitting that raker right there, this depth gauge. But this part right here comes off too, and there's a reason for that. I'm gonna take my 2-pound hammer. Make sure you guys can see that. Okay, so there it is. So it has a 2-piece. So that separates there. And then the tooth. There's your bolt. There's your tooth. So how this works. So what this does is this acts as an additional protection measure for the holder. So let's say you're mulching, going along mulching, and you hit a big chunk of steel like an I-beam or something that's hidden in the brush or something, or like a manhole cover, and you come around, one of these teeth goes bang, right, hits it. Well, if you hit something hard enough on these, you can damage these holders here. So if the tooth was fixed like that, right, if it got ripped off or damaged, it could damage this holder as well when it comes off or whatever. You know, this could rip off and then it would hit this, you know, or this could hit something and damage this. And if you damage this, it's typically going to throw off the balance, and then you've got a problem. So this acts as an additional layer of protection to protect the actual holder that's welded onto the drum from damage. And so that's why it's a 2-piece. Now it is a little bit more work, obviously, to change out these teeth with this, but this adds an additional layer of protection, because I can tell you right now, damaging this drum and having to get it rebalanced is not a fun time. So you can ask John over at Upstate Brush Control. That happened with one of his Fecons a couple years ago. He had a manhole cover, I believe, with it, and it literally ripped one of the, either one or a couple of these depth rings off, and he had everything re-welded out, and they came out with a mobile balancer and tried to rebalance it, and they never could actually get it right. And there's a video of them coming out there trying to do a mobile balance, and then finally they never could get it right. And then there's another video of him taking the entire drum off, disconnecting it from the frame of the mulcher and sending it back to Fecon so they could put it on their balancer back in the factory. So it's a job. It is a job to you know, have to fix these things if these holders or these rings get damaged, and it has to be rebalanced. So just wanted to throw that out there, show you guys how these teeth are done. So I got 44 teeth to pull off and replace. I got 2 boxes of 20 a piece plus 4, and we're gonna get some brand new knifey knives on there. It's gonna be nice and sharp. These teeth come razor sharp too, razor sharp from the factory. So all right, let's I'm gonna get to it and we'll see what she looks like when I'm done. All right, good news and some kind of unfortunate news. Good news is I got all the teeth that I had on there. I haven't torqued them yet, but they're all on. Got all the teeth on. I put no C's on the bolts and nuts and everything. These are 30 millimeter, by the way, 30 millimeter nuts. Luckily, I had 2 30 millimeter sockets for some work I'd done on the John Deere that had some 30 millimeter stuff on it, so that worked out well. Problem is, this head has 44 teeth, and I bought 2 boxes of 20 plus 4 that I took out of another box when I went down to CCE to pick them up, and I'm 5 teeth short, and I don't know how that happened, but no worries. The guys at CCE are gonna ship me 5 more. And I don't need this thing until probably next week anyway. It's Wednesday, so we should be fine until then. I'm gonna torque down what I got. I went through and counted them to make sure. I was like, what in the world? So I have 39 new teeth on there, and I am 5 short, so there is 44 on there, and that's what the owner's manual says. Just wanted to make sure everything was matching up. So but it would still run, because these teeth over here on the end, they're not worn bad at all. Like, these are not, I mean, you can see that's you roll this down, there we go. So that's a new tooth, and that's, you know, the existing teeth. There's not enough of a weight difference between this tooth and these teeth, I think, to create an imbalance on the head. So I think it would run fine. Even though you're not supposed to run new and old teeth, I think these are not too badly worn to where it would create that much of an issue. So if I needed to run it, I could, you know, but I paid for 44 teeth, and these teeth are not, you know, any mulching teeth, whether they be carbide or hardened, the chipper hardened steel teeth. They're not particularly cheap, especially when you times that by 44 of them. So yeah, so, and I did pay for these. Nobody gave these to me for free. I did pay for them. So I do want to get what I paid for. So I bought 44, I want to get 44. But if I needed it, I could run it. So that was my fault. Maybe I should have counted them first, but no worries. We'll make do. So, all right, well, more stuff to come. And I'll add this into another video and you guys will see it. So that'll be cool. Good morning, everybody. It's finally Friday. We are back out on this clearing project, ditching and stumping and all kinds of stuff I've been doing out here. And we've got a project for today. This is gonna get interesting, I think. So at least we're gonna find out if it works or not. I'm not exactly sure, but it's gonna be interesting nonetheless. Let's take a quick look at what we got. And I've kind of broken out an old favorite that we haven't seen in quite a minute out on this job. So let's take a look at what we got. All right, so you guys haven't seen the pre-knoth here in a minute. But I got the old pre-knoth out. I had to replace a few of the teeth on there. I had some other older ones on there, or older ones that weren't quite worn down so bad as some of the ones that were already on there. So I replaced a few, like 7 or 8 yesterday, that were really bad, and put some half-worn ones on there. So, and then I fired it up. Everything ran great. If you've got a head with worn teeth, you can't put new teeth on it, but you can put some older teeth on it that are half worn, and if you already got half worn teeth, you should be fine. You won't have a balance issue. So I got all the teeth sharpened, got her lubed up. So this is our project for today. The owner's been trying to burn these big stumps out here for a good while. They just won't burn. He just can't really get them to burn. And he asked me if I could grind them, and I was like, I think so, we could try. So I told him I don't know how long it's gonna take, but we can at least try it. So he said give it a shot, and we're gonna try to grind up some of these stumps, and then I'm gonna try to grind this big one for sure. The little stuff is more not as important, but if we can grind that up too, that'd be good. But there's 2 or 3 big stumps in here, and then I've got his mini I can use to kind of separate this pile out a little bit as we start grinding. So let's just get into this and see what we can do. All right, well that turned out pretty good. Got all that ground down, and yeah, looks pretty good. He's happy, the owner's happy, so that's good. That's what we came to do. So let me take this thing off of here and we'll take a look at what we got. All right, mulch is all those stumps are mulched down. Got a nice big thick mulch pile right here. And yeah, the teeth took a bit of a beating. Now I will say, these teeth look like they held up a little bit better than the ones on the TMC, some of them. Now they did round over, just like the ones on the TMC did. They start to round over here on the top, and that really hard, and those really hard, I guess it's those hard red oaks that do that. But I sharpened them pretty good, and they don't look too bad. I mean, they're getting worn out anyway. I mean, they were getting down to the nub here in the middle. But I'm getting ready to change the teeth out on the Mini, and it's got a few teeth on it that are probably pretty good that I can put on here too in the middle. The ones on the outside, like that's not a bad tooth. There's the belt in there squeaking. So those teeth aren't too bad right there, and these over here aren't too horrible neither. See, that's a good tooth. You know, that one's not bad either. You know, none of these are. So the middle part of the drum on a mulcher typically takes the worst beating. So either that, or I can just swap all of them, you know, change out all these. I have another set of teeth at the shop for this mulcher ready to go. I could just change them all and then just keep some of these as spares, you know, and use these in the middle again. There's probably 10 of them on there that are worth saving, or so, 10 or 12. I think there's like 32 or 34 teeth on this head, something like that. So yeah, now I may have an issue with the machine. The bearing, the front bearing here on this, on the bogey here, may have gone, possibly. It started creaking and popping after about an hour or so of mulching, and then it did it for a little bit, then it stopped. So no, it doesn't. I put my hand in there, it didn't feel hot. The caster doesn't feel hot. What it is, it's a caster with a bearing inside of it, a sealed bearing inside of it. So no, it doesn't feel hot like it's burnt up. I don't know. It was creaking and popping pretty good. Huh? But then it quit, so I don't know. But I went ahead and ordered another one anyway, so just in case. If it's not bad, I'll just keep it, and you know, it'll need to be replaced one of these days. So but yeah, the machine's a mess. It's really dusty out here, but we wanted to get this done today because we're getting 2 to 4 inches of rain come Sunday. We're getting a lot of rain come Sunday. A big system is coming through, and this place out here, because it's got clay out here, it's like the one place in my area that's got clay. When it rains out here, it gets muddy and mucky. You can see it hadn't rained in a while out here, and there's still some spots that are holding water that are still muddy and mucky. It's muddy. You slip and slide all over the place out here. So yeah, but the Prenoth did a great job in here today. That head is I love that Prenoth. I mean, don't get me wrong, I love the TMC too. It's a great head, but the Prenoth makes a great mulching head too. So they make a great product, they really do. So all right, well, let's see what else we can get into here today before we gotta go. All right, so last little thing for the day, done with the skid steer grinding stumps. Back here towards the back end of the property, next to the ditch, we got those mounds cleaned up. I got all that kind of cleaned up there about 2 weeks or so ago, right before Thanksgiving. This is all going to be stumped out right here, this little section right here. But he wants to knock this dog fennel down, and then if there's anything else in here, like any logs or stuff, we can get out with the bucket or his small tractor and put on that burn pile. that would help. So it's just cheaper for me to bring this thing back here and knock this down instead of bringing the, because we're just knocking down this dog fennel, and then to bring the skid steer back here. Plus it's still super duper wet back here, muddy and mucky. He got, the last time I was out here, he got the tractor stuck right out there in the middle of the field. I had to take the Mini out there and pull him out. So it's wet and mucky back here. So better just to knock this stuff down with the Mini, save him a little money and not have to worry about getting stuck. So let's knock some of this down and we'll work till dark, and that'll be it for the day. Alrighty folks, that's the fact jack on that. Got all that cleaned up. You can kind of see the stumps in there that they've still got left to take out. That's why I didn't mulch this down, because the guy's got to come through here and stump all that out. So he needs to be able to see the stumps so he can pull them out. We got some piles here left to burn. There's one there. There's one a little further down that way. And so yeah, there's that little bit of stuff left right there, but this was the main part of it right here that we wanted to get back up towards this ditch. And then eventually we've got to clean up this ditch right here because it's got a bunch of brush and stuff on it, and it's got a bunch of piles of stuff along, some dirt piles along it that we need to get cleaned up, get all that graded out. A lot of these trees are dead. This burned a little while back and killed a lot of those trees. So like that gum right there is dead, and I think that those other gums right there, they're dead. So they're just gonna fall. We need to get them down, get them burnt, cleaned up. I need to get that pile. We still got a lot of work left to do on this property. So a couple more stumps I need to grind over there next to the ditch, but we'll be back. Beautiful afternoon, sun's going down. I still got to go get the blower really quick and clean up the skid steer before I get out of here. But yeah, that turned out nice. It's a good day out here, very productive, got a lot done. So stay tuned, a lot more to come. I'm going out to do some charity work tomorrow with my mini excavator. This is the owner's mini with his MTL. I'm going out with my mini and the mulcher and the buckets tomorrow to do some charity work. We're going to be cleaning up some debris and trying to get a lot ready to mulch. So stay tuned for that, and I'll catch you guys on the next one. Bye everybody.